Upon being sworn in as the first woman in Congress in 1917, Montana Representative Jeanette Rankin said, I may be the first woman in Congress, but I won't be the last. At the time, Montana was one of the 10 states that allowed women to vote for president. Throughout her journey, she faced many challenges as a pacifist woman in politics, including alienation from suffragists and unpopularity with the public. She was born in Missoula, Montana in 1880. She was the eldest of 7 children. Her father was John Rankin, who was a ranch worker, and her mother was a school teacher. She later attended the University of Montana and studied biology. After graduating from the university, she moved to New York City, where she attended the School of Philanthropy. She later moved to Seattle, Washington in 1910, where she saw in a local newspaper that they were looking for volunteers for women's suffrage. Her campaign promoted national women's suffrage and social welfare. The suffragists were in Washington, California, Montana, New York, Washington, D.C. In 1912, she served field American security for the National American Suffrage Association. She ran a platform promoting an amendment for women's suffrage and social welfare. She argued it would allow women to support their families and children. She also supported 8-hour workdays and thought women needed to work less to take care of their children. After a long debate if women were worthy, on April 2, 1917, she was elected the first woman in Congress. The night she was elected, President Woodrow Wilson called a joint session of the House in support of entering World War I. She voted no. After spending 20 years as an anti-war, social welfare activist and pacifist, she ran again for House seat in Montana in 1940. Jeanette Rankin was a pacifist all throughout her life. She pledged she wouldn't vote for any American war involved with deadly European conflict. She voted against joining World War I and was 1 out of 50. She said on House floor, "As a woman, I can't go to war, and I refuse to let anybody else." Throughout both terms, she was worried about the poor and victims of the war. She told her colleagues, "I want to stand by my country, but I can't vote for war." The other House members didn't listen to what she had to say, and the United States joined World War II. Right after her first term in Congress ended, the 19th Amendment was ratified, and women got the right to vote. At the age of 87, she led a protest with 5,000 other women in Washington, D.C., after the war in Vietnam. She later died in California at the age of 92. Despite the unpopularity with the public and facing many challenges as a pacifist woman in politics, Jeanette Rankin still made history. Still to this day, only 24% of Congress members are female. And women have only been able to vote for 105 years, while men have been able to vote in the United States for over 245 years.